Hello and welcome to episode 116 of the She Must Knit podcast. My name is Erin and thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today. I hope you guys have had a great 2-ish weeks. Things have been going pretty well here. We are still in mega lockdown. Nothing has changed except about 2 weeks ago, just after I did the last episode, they dropped down the age limit in our area for getting vaccines. So they dropped it down to 40 and up. So I was able to go and get mine. Dennis also was able to go and get his. So now we just have to kind of sit back and wait until the second dose becomes available. But I feel like we are just that one tiny little step closer to being able to visit with people and do things that, we kind of miss doing. So that's what's going on here. Otherwise, Avery is still at doing home learning. She's in the other room right now, listening to one of her lessons. What else has been going on? I feel like something else happened. Just in case you were someone who was watching Vlogmas, so Kira had an appointment this week. I don't know if you remember, there was one day where I had to take her to get a hearing test because she missed it when she was an infant. So because she was born at the start of the pandemic, that service just wasn't available at the hospital, so she missed that, so we had to go get one later on, and they just weren't able to get a good result. We went twice and they just were not able to get a good result from her. Well, she had a third test yesterday, no, not yesterday, day before, 2 days ago, and she passed, so she's fine. They kind of dismissed all her paperwork. She is good to go. So that is done, and I am so thankful because it's, even though, watching her, seeing how she, interacts and reacts to things and just, picking up language and stuff, I felt like there wasn't really an issue. You're still kind of, it's just good to know that everything's okay. So that is that, and I think other than that, that is all that's been happening. So what do I have for you today? We are going to start off with the winner for April, and then I have a finished object for you. I have 2 works in progress, I think, that I put some work into, and then we're also going to have a project throwback. So I thought that was fun. That's just something that kind of popped up because I was going through some things. So I'm going to share that with you as well. So let's start with the monthly winner. If you are a new viewer, every month I take the entry, so any comment that is made on any of my videos counts as an entry, as well as any item ordered from my site counts as an entry, and I take all those entries and then I draw a winner to win a $20 coupon to my shop. It's my way of thanking you for engaging in my channel. So I pulled the winner for April, and the winner was Nancy McMahon. So I know you watch fairly frequently, you comment on most of the videos, so you are the winner for April. You can contact me either through Ravelry. I'm pretty sure you're on Ravelry. You can contact me through there, and I will get that coupon set up for you. So let's get started with the knitting now. My first item is a finished object, but I don't have it to share with you in person, so I will just put up a picture there. But I finished my April Desert Vista Dyeworks socks, and I had mentioned that I was making these for my mom, and I made them for her. I decided to give them to her for Mother's Day, and that is this coming weekend. So they are already in her hands. They fit. Everything is good, but I don't have them to show you. But I didn't do anything, out of the ordinary with this sock that I don't do with any of my other Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. So you guys know the drill. So the colorway I used was called Knows Your Name, which was based on the show Cheers, and it was just a nice mix of there was like a gray stripe, kind of like a beigey yellow stripe, and then kind of a muted little colorful stripe. It was really pretty. And yeah, I just did 72 stitches, and I did just the plain knitting. I did my increase heel that I do, and then I did 50 rows, and they fit her well. So 50 rows until the toe, and then I did the toe. But I was able to finish them the last day of the month, which is pretty standard for me. But going into the last day, I was into the foot, so it was a pretty easy finish for me. I was able to finish before dinner, I think. Got my pictures taken, got them uploaded into all the necessary places to be part of the challenge, and then that was that. April was finished. So I cast on my May socks maybe a day or two later. I don't think I was able to cast them on the 1st. but that is what I will show you next. So here is the colorway that I'm going to be using for May. This one is called St. Lawrence, and it's just, you can see it's all these pretty kind of greens. There's a lime green and a darker green, kind of a turquoise and a gray. I was able to switch up my Lily and Fox nail wraps to something that matched, so we are doing like a glitter, a two-tone glitter for this month. But yeah, so I picked this color because usually at the beginning of the year I try and get all my gift socks done before I really get into making socks for myself. And one of the squares on my bingo card is to make 4 gift pairs. I have done 3 of those so far. So February I made a pair for my middle brother. What's after February? March I made a pair for my friend that I'm going to send to her for her birthday in June. April was for my mom, and May I decided to get my last gift pair out. It's not my last gift pair, I still have more, but to complete that bingo card for 4 gift pairs of socks, I decided just to get that out of the way. So this pair is going to be for my youngest brother for his Christmas pair. I try and make all my brothers a pair of socks for Christmas, and I thought these greens would be fun. I think he will like this this color. I think he'll like it. So I was able to cast on. I got the cuff done. I just did kind of one color repeat for the cuff. So I started with the gray there, and then I just knit until I hit the gray again, and then I started in stockinette for the leg. For all my brothers, I do 72 stitches as well. I did my usual 2x1 rib for the cuff, and now I'm just going to knit 10 stripes until I start the increases for the heel. So I am enjoying how these look. I don't think I bought this skein with the intention, like sometimes I pick out skeins that I think specific people will like, and at other times I just pick out skeins that I think are nice, and then they kind of get allocated later. I think when I picked out this skein, I was like, you know what, I don't really have any socks with green in them, so I thought maybe I would keep them. But once I got the skein and I was thinking about what pair I was going to make for May, I just figured I think this will be a good pair for my brother. So that is all I have done on it so far. I've been trying to work on it consistently, but I keep getting stolen away by other projects. There's just, like, I know I need to get these done by the end of the month, but then there's all these other things that I want to do too, because I think by the end of May I'm going to do, so my next episode I think I'm going to do a bingo card update, because I still only have 1 square marked off on my bingo card, and when I go pop into the Ravelry group and the thread and see what everybody else is doing, oh my goodness, so many of the bingo participants have squares filled all over the place, and I am feeling very left out right now. And a lot of the projects that I am working on will work towards squares. So I'm like, I want to get more squares, but then I also want to make sure that I complete my Desert Vista Dye Works challenge. So I have to make sure that I keep working on those socks, but then I'm also working on some other stuff. So the next thing I'm going to share with you is going to be the other pair of socks that I have been working on as well. So I was able to put in a little bit of work on my Advent socks. I started these back in December. I got the Cozy Knitter Advent skein, and I think I was able to finish the first sock by the end of December, and then the second one just kind of sat, and I decided that I just really need to get this pair done because it will work towards, one of my squares is to finish 2 older projects. It will work towards that, and also it will make me feel a lot better about casting on another pair of socks that is not Desert Vista Dye Works related. I really want to get a pair, or Dennis's pair, cast on, because that's another square, and I need to finish a pair before I can do that. So the last time I showed these to you, I had worked down the leg and I had gotten into the increases of the heel. I was right about there, so I was kind of halfway through the increases. I've since been able to finish the increases. I did the heel turn, I've joined in the round, and now I am working, so this is about where I joined. I'm working down the foot now. And because this just feels like a thicker yarn, it's an 80-20 blend, and that's just a teeny tiny bit thicker than the 75-25 blend, I just feel like the rows go a lot faster. So I know with my Desert Vista Dye Works pairs, if I, once I get to the foot, if I put a lot of work in it, on it during a day, I can finish the foot in a day. So in theory, I know that I can finish the foot of this sock in a day if I really wanted to. So I'm just really trying to work on it at least once during a day so I can get this pair done, because once this pair is done, I can pick out something for Dennis. And I've already had a little peek. I think I know which skein I want to use. You can't see them anymore. I had in these two bins here, I had one of them is all the sock yarn that I've put aside for for Dennis or my brothers, and Kira is just at the right height now that when she cruises along this shelf, yeah, one of her favorite things to do is if anything is in a basket, she likes to take it out of the basket. So she was consistently just pulling all the skeins of yarn out of those two baskets. So I kind of turn them. She can still get in there if she really wants to, but it's not like in her face. But yeah, the skeins of yarn that I have to choose from for Dennis's socks are in one of those boxes. And I think I have my eye on one of them that I want to cast on. So the sooner that I can get this sock finished, the sooner I can start that pair, and then that will work towards another bingo square. It would be so exciting if I could get this sock done by the next time I record, so that I could have a new cast on. That would be really fun. So I'm going to try and do that. It'll just feel so nice to get this old project kind of out of the way. I'm debating on if I might pull out, there's one other sock project that I have that has just been sitting. It's one of my micro stripe socks, and I'm on the second sock of those as well. I might even pull that out just to kind of, even if I can just do a couple rows here and there, it might it might grow slowly, but it will still grow. So I might pull those out as well. And then those are the two main older sock projects that I have aside. Pretty much everything else is not sock related. I usually don't have old sock projects. So I'm happy with the progress that I made on that, and then I'm also happy with the progress that I made on the other project that I have to show you. So I'm going to pull that out, and then we'll have our the project throwback, and then yeah, I think that will be it for this episode. So I'm going to grab Avery's sweater. So I was able to put some work in on Avery's sweater. I think over the last 2 days I was working on it. I will go, yeah, it was about 2 days. It took me about a day to get through the sleeve, and then yesterday I was working on the other shoulder. My intention was just to start the shoulder so I could show you the progress of it, but that darn shoulder is so much fun to knit that I just finished it up, so apologies for that. If you're not familiar with this project, I'll pop the picture in there. This is the Lightbox, and I'm trying to make one for Avery and one for Kira so that they are kind of matching sweaters, but I'm going to be doing different colors. So the last time I showed this to you, I had finished the striping detail on the one shoulder, and then I think I had started knitting into the sleeve, but I hadn't finished. I have since finished the sleeve. You can see all my little markers there. Once I get to the sleeve in a pattern, I don't tend to follow the instructions for the sleeves. I kind of just do my own thing. I do the increases at my own rate. I do the length to whatever length I want to do it to. So I always put markers in when I do a decrease, so that when I do the second sleeve, I know where I did the marker or where I did the decreases, because I'm not following the instructions. So that's what the markers are. And then for the length, so Avery has tried this on, and if I want, I've been doing this with sweaters lately, where if I want the sweater to kind of fit now, but I want there to be the potential to grow into it even further, I will knit the stockinette part of the sleeve as long as as long as the full length would normally be. So I think I knit the stockinette part on Avery up to about here on her, and then I do an additional 2 inches or so in a ribbed cuff. So right now, this sleeve would be too long for her. It's about here that hits her just below her wrist. But by rolling it up, so if we roll it up, this will fit her now. And then as she grows, she can lengthen that, like she can unroll the cuff, and then it will still fit her as she grows. Because width-wise, I think this will fit her for quite some time. She is a little string bean, and she does not tend to outgrow the width of things ever. It's always the length. And I made this longer too. So width and length should be able to fit her for a while. And so I wanted the sleeves to be able to fit her as well. And so I just did that extra length on the sleeves. So I finished this sleeve maybe 2 days ago. And then, like I said, I decided I was going to pick up for the other shoulder, and I was just going to get it started. I just wanted to get it started so I could show you what it looked like, and then I just kept going, because once you start this little chevron detail and you're going back and forth, it is just a lot of fun. You're only working on 13 stitches for this size, so each row goes by really fast. So you're like, okay, I'll just do one stripe, and then all of a sudden 4 rows later you're done that stripe, and it's like, okay, I'll just do the next stripe, and then you're done that stripe. And so before I knew it, I was already done the entire section. So the shoulder on this one is done, and now I just have to pick up around the armhole, get those stitches on to a longer needle so I can do the sleeve. But before I do that, I think what I'm going to do is finish the neckline and weave in all the ends. The one thing I will say about this pattern is, if you are not a fan of having a bazillion ends to weave in, there is so much yarn spaghetti going on down in there, just because of all the yarn changes, and then the shaping, and then there's just all this stuff. There's so many ends in there, and I am someone who tends to like to weave in my ends as I work on a project. Like, as long as I know there's no chance that I might have to rip something back or frog it because it's not going to work out. Like, if I'm experimenting and I'm not sure, I won't weave in the ends. But if I'm pretty sure the project is, going to stay the way it is, I like to weave my ends in as I go. And all the ends in there are just kind of driving me a little batty. So I think I am going to finish off the neckline. I'm going to weave in all the ends that I can weave in, and then I'm going to do the sleeve, so that once I'm done the sleeve, the sweater is basically done. And I am so close. I don't think it's going to take me long to do the neckline. I think I can do that in a day, like over 2 naps. I think I'll be good. And then the sleeve, I was able to get mostly done in a day as well, so maybe 2 days for the sleeve. I think I will be able to finish this by the end of May, which would be so good. It would just be so nice to have this done. This will mark off a full square on my bingo card, so that is exciting. So yeah, this is what I have. You can see that the bottom is chevroned as well with the bright pink, and then the shoulders. I am enjoying this pattern, which is good, because I have to knit another one. I have to make another one for Kira. And I'm almost debating. It crossed my mind. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but several episodes back I had mentioned that I'm trying to figure out a project to knit for my friend's little girl Mackenzie. I make her something every year, and we will see that in my throwback project. But I make her something every year for at least the last couple of years, and I have not been able to narrow down a pattern to make for her this year. And as I've been working on this, it briefly crossed my mind to make one of these sweaters for her in a pink. I don't think I'd have enough of this bright pink to do the same. Actually, I don't even think I'll have enough gray, because I only ordered enough for Avery's and Kira's sweater. But I could easily order some more of this yarn. I'm really enjoying this yarn. I have not mentioned this yarn in this episode yet. So I am using the Stylecraft Special yarn. It is a 100% acrylic yarn, but it comes in a multitude of colors. If you are doing any kind of color work thing, or like a blanket, a lot of people do blankets with this yarn, where you need a lot of different colors and a lot of different tones of the same colors. They have a ton of colors. So I've even, if I wanted to do this pattern for Mackenzie in this yarn, I could easily order another set of colors. But I'm going to wait on that, because I know I have yarn. I'm sure I can find a pattern in my library that she'll like, with yarn that I already have that she'll like. So I'm going to try not to do that. But I'm really enjoying this pattern. I think it's super, super cute. And like I said, I think it's going to be super cute on Avery as a 9 turning 10-year-old, and even as she gets a little older, I think it will still be cute. And then I think it's going to be super cute on Kira too. So that's the work that I did on that this week. And then I think we have the throwback project, and then the little joke at the end with Avery and Kira, and then we're going to call this an episode. So yeah, the project is just over there. I'm going to grab that, and then we will wrap this up. So for my throwback project, several weeks ago. It was probably, yeah, it was, I can't even tell you when it was. So my friend Vanny, who has Mackenzie, who I often make projects for, they have been giving us all of Mackenzie's old stuff. So when Kira was born, we got all of the baby stuff that they had kept. So much stuff. It was so helpful. I was so grateful for it. And then maybe a month or two ago, they started bringing over boxes of clothes that they had put aside. So we got a whole bunch of boxes of clothes. Winter wear, boots, shoes, all kinds of stuff. And I've slowly been going through it and just deciding, you know, what we can keep, what we have room for, what wouldn't really work for us, what I can pass on. So it's been a bit of a process going through everything. Well, I finally finished going through all the boxes, and I will say first, it's been so enjoyable finding things that I passed down from Avery. So Avery's older than Mackenzie. Mackenzie, I think, is turning 6. Avery's older than Mackenzie, so when she was younger, I would give a lot of the clothes that she outgrew to Mackenzie, and I have been finding so many of those clothes in the boxes that they've given to us. So pulling out, I can spot them immediately, right? You just know. So pulling out these things, I'm like, oh, this was one of Avery's dresses, or oh, I remember really loving this dress, or I'm finding all these things that she wore that now I will have a chance, now Kira will have a chance to wear too. So I've really been enjoying that. But one of the things that I found in the boxes was one of the sweaters that I knit for Mackenzie. I checked my Ravelry project page, and I knit this back in 2018. And if you've been a long time viewer, you might remember this project because I think this was, did I make her 2 of these? I don't remember. I know I made her another sweater with striped arms, but this might have been the first one. But do you remember this little sock arms sweater? So yeah, I made this back in 2018, and I've made several of these. I know I made one for Avery, which I also still have to pass down to Kira, and I might have made another one. I'd have to check my project pages. But this is such a fun sweater to make that uses up fingering yarn. So the sleeves, especially, so I had to check, but I did about a size 4, and the sleeves only took 1 ball of the Knit Picks Felice yarn. So 1 50-gram ball of striping sock weight yarn, you can get the sleeves done in, and then the body just used 1 ball of like 100-gram skein of sock weight yarn. So if you have a 100-gram skein and you have a 50-gram skein of striping yarn, you can get a whole little kid's sweater out of this. And I just think it is super cute. So the body of the sweater I made in, I think it was the Hawthorn, both Knit Picks yarns. This was Hawthorn Speckle, and then I matched it up with a skein of Felice, and I put there's a little button on the back. But yeah, I remember making this, and it was when I was going through the box and I think I just saw a little bit of this yarn. I recognized it immediately. So now this is back, and Kira will have a chance to wear this. Probably not for at least another year or so, even though she's wearing about 24-month clothing, some 2T clothing. So maybe in a year and a half or so she might be able to wear that. But yeah, I just thought that was really fun that little project has kind of made its way back into our lives, and now Kira will have a chance to wear it. I really haven't been making her a ton of things or like have plans to, other than the Lightbox, just because she has so much that I made for Avery, so much. I should go through some of the sweaters I have and see if anything will fit her, though we're going, it's spring, it's still kind of chilly out, because I've been enjoying having her wear something that Avery wore, and then finding the picture of Avery wearing it and kind of doing like a little comparison. That's been really fun. So I'll have to see if there's any new things that she fits in. But like I said, I just haven't really been looking to make Kira a lot of things because there's just so much left passed down from Avery. So yeah, I just thought that was a fun little thing to share with you. I think that is it for the knitting for this episode. As usual, I will have Avery and Kira pop on at the end with a little joke for you. But other than that, I hope you are doing well. I hope you're enjoying all the projects that you are working on, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Hello everyone. I'm going to do another joke for you today. And as you see, you don't see my baby sister Kira. Well, she didn't want to sit. She was squirming. So, want to hear the joke? Okay. What do cats say when they get hurt? Can you guess? Meouch. Like meow and ouch. Because they say ouch, meow, because they're cats. I hope you enjoyed my joke today. See you next time. Bye.